Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it.
Good morning, everybody. Cowboy here. It is 8:32 a.m. EST, and we are starting our live lab here, algofactory.tech. Go ahead, take a look in the description. There's a free algo in there. Click on that. It's pretty cool stuff. Just make sure you optimize it before you plug it into your exchange. But once you have optimized it, it is an example of what can be done. Could trade for you or not even sitting at the computer. It's awesome stuff. Looking at the screen now, though, we're taking a look at this double win that I talked about, right? This is something I put out on Monday, and I put it out as the weekly market forecast. I do this every week, right? And I said that I put this on YouTube. This is not a private live lab installment. This actually is for everybody to see. And I mapped this trade out. Now, at the time, I had the starting point a little earlier. I think it was something like this, but it was the same thing either way, right? The way I drew it then applies the same way that this applies now. And I could have had a tighter stop. I could have done a lot of different things, but I didn't change the metrics. This really is just pretty much how I drew it on Monday. And it's a double win. You have NASDAQ going for all-time highs, and it pierced right through the target on the second trade. This is 2 trades. This is a double win, right? You have this trade down here. You have that trade right there. They both won, and it took about 2 days. And first trade is a 2.18 to 1, and the second one is a 4 to 1. Okay, so that's basically you're tripling your money on the first one, right? You're putting in maybe 1,000 to take out 2,000, or 100 to take out 200. And on the second trade, you would be putting in 1,000 to take out 4,000, or 100 to take out 400, right? Almost exactly. And that's just based on these stop losses. I mean, it could have done a more precise stop loss, could have yanked a little bit more out, or might have been a little bit less. But either way, these trades just as placed won. And we have actually a few wins from this week to talk about. The private live lab yielded a couple of wins as well. We have a GBP USD, and I went ahead and let the live lab know. Let me flip to the proper chart on this. Give me one moment. This one went right almost up to target, and I put the chart in the live lab this morning saying, hey, I could just take profit right here. Like back when the price was almost to target, I have a rule where if it's like at 85% of target or more, I can take profit and my numbers would remain consistent. And that I think went up to like 98% of profit. It was right there. It was like right at the take profit. I mean, anybody would have taken profit at that point. Bitcoin is in the middle of a winning trade as well that I took, and actually I added to it quietly. So I have some nicer risk to reward ratios on this in reality than what you're seeing. But because Bitcoin is having some nasty pullbacks, I did give a lot of room for this to pull back, and probably more than it needed. So this one's doing pretty nicely. Safely can put stop to entry at this point based on this particular trade. So lots of winning this week. This is what we do at Algo Factory. These are the receipts. Of course, the last 2 trades that you're seeing right now, those receipts are really only known inside the private live lab. Private members can vouch. So but that's it. That's what we do. We predict where price is going to go. We predict when it's going to get there. And we extract money from the market by doing this. And you can do this by coming to algofactory.tech and signing up. You can also just go into the description, click that link, get the free algo, and that will lead you down to how you can find us as well. So let's do some more predicting. More predictions also with the JPY. Now, those of you who watched the Monday and yesterday's show, I said, hey, if I were going to trade JPY, this would be what I would do, but I'm not going to touch it. I wasn't touching any JPY pairs this week, and that was a good decision. And the reason is because the Bank of Japan is continuing to nuke this pair. They're just throwing billions and billions. Each one of these red candles down that you see is them manipulating the situation to protect their currency. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that they're doing what they got to do, which means I am not going to be touching any Japanese yen pairs this week until they are done with whatever they're going to be doing. I mean, if I was going to trade this, it would be some sort of, scalps, something quick. Now, I believe my algo is called the move down. Let me jump to another screen here. I've got a new algo I'm testing and building. I'll let you all have a preview to that. Let's see here. Did it call this? Let's see. Not on the 30-minute. Not on the 30. It did call this move here, and it called the first one. So these little arrows that you see, that's the new algo I've built. And it's, you know, it called a couple of winners even on the Japanese yen, which is not, again, I don't care what it's calling. I'm not touching it this week. Let's see. Yeah, it's calling winners in the 5-minute. I mean, this obviously is a scalping, you know, for like day trading scalping time frame. It's calling winners though. You know, I have refinement yet to do on this where, you know, it's like one trade at a time rather than, you know, taking 20 of these. So I'll have to figure out how to, I mean, I could simply put into the strategy parameters not to take more than one trade at a time or 2 trades at a time. I mean, I could pyramid that way. You know, so that this algo you see is a work in progress. But yeah, you know, I'm not going to say it's calling this crazy move. I don't think there's really too many things that could call this crazy move. This is the Bank of Japan just cramming money into its currency. You can see if I go back to the 30-minute chart, that was the 1 minute. Let's see, 530. That was the 30. So here's the 30. If I go to the GBP JPY, you'll see the same thing. So it's just, you know, cramming money into it. Although on the British pound version, the algo did call both of those major moves, but I would not. I don't care. I'm not touching it. So just want to show you that. Bitcoin we talked about, but let's go ahead and take a broader look at Bitcoin. And let me see here. This is the weekly, daily. We want this on the monthly. Okay. Yeah, Bitcoin is in a place where it is going to have continued bullishness for the time being. So now, again, I don't know that that's going to continue for too long, but we could talk about the possible targets on Bitcoin, where it might go, where it's going to want to go. I would do it like right now based on a fixed range look. So just going to take a look at this big move down. If Bitcoin continues to push like it's pushing, then it's going to want to grab liquidity in this area right here. And it might even spike up a little bit higher. There's obviously this structural peak right here at 98. The liquidity itself really starts to run out at about 92,500, right? So that's where you're gonna run into trouble. And by the way, speak up in the comments if you can or cannot hear me. I'm using a different microphone. I had to get a different mic because the one I was using was not very good. You get what you pay for, guys. Like in the world. Let me fix this mic. Let's see here. You really do get what you pay for. Like, it just is what it is. Learn how to clip this damn thing on. Give me 1 second, folks. Apologies. Technical difficulties. Let's see if I just put this right here. Okay, let me know how the audio is. It should be good. I can see it's coming through. But yeah, I would be looking at about, I mean, the most would be 98,000. I don't know that Bitcoin's really going to go above that. I don't know that it's going to go any higher than it is right now, but I would say that right now, if it continues to poke up, it does have bullishness. I expect as of now, price to go to 88,000. That can happen. You know, it's very likely. It's at 82. 88 is realistic. The thickest part of liquidity is right about 89,000. So it could go to kind of 88 and, you know, make everybody think it's going to go higher. But right now, Bitcoin's just going to, you know, it's difficult to say what it's going to do. So just going to have to kind of plot it along. Obviously, you know, I'm making a little bit of money out of it on the Bitcoin trade that I showed you earlier. So that's where it's at right now. Okay. That's where I've just got to leave it. I have a target. If I were in this trade, if I were in Bitcoin, I would think about 88,000 as a pretty safe target. Although it's like already in a strong move up, I wouldn't like buy this until I saw some kind of pullback. Even if that pullback were on like a 30-minute chart, doesn't have to be on the like the daily, you know. But I would look for, it's in a pullback right now, honestly. So you could look at a possible entry maybe at like 81.8 I'd have to really watch the algos and make sure that I'm allowed to take this trade by my rules, but maybe like a little long right there might be doable. Again, I'd have to, at the time, take a look at what's going on and make a choice then, but that's a good trade, you know, if you can get it. The euro spiked up, really, I think more like the dollar spiked down, but rejection pretty much at structure, had a little poke above structure. So is it going to continue up? Well, this is a 30-minute chart, so let's back out and take a look at the higher time frame. A lot of people were bearish on the euro, and I was like, hey, not so fast. Not so fast, folks. Let me fix my charts here. Do a little reshuffling. Weekly. Bring this out to the monthly. Okay. So they were bearish on this, but I don't think it's ready to completely roll over right now, because if you look at the euro going back out to the daily chart, this is going all the way back to like almost a year ago, really a year ago. The euro's just been in this range. You know, it's not a very clean range, but it's a range, and it's basically in this area, making the top of that range. But if you were to zoom in a little bit, you'll also notice that it's in this range right here, more or less. Again, not a clean range. You can zoom into like the maybe the 30-minute chart just to get some granularity on it, but I mean, it's starting to form a range, you know. So in the end, it's going to be a question of whether it breaks up or down. And I think that's a tough call on that, because the volatility is starting to kind of fall off a cliff. But if I were to just take a look at it strictly from that range standpoint, you've got the top of the bigger range right up here at this, what is it, 118.34. And then you've got the bottom of the range down, way down there. You can't see that on the screen. But then you got this mini range where it did handsomely reject. And that's at 117.911 right here, this blue line, the top of that box right here. So I would say, and this is kind of what I talked about on the Monday show and even yesterday, I would look for longs right now. That's where I would look for. I'd look for price right now. And this was what I talked about on Monday as well. I would look for price to maybe head down to the bottom of this range and consider a long. Now, I'd kind of see the way price was behaving around that time. I know the range traders would just simply be in the trade, and they get really good risk to reward. You know, the range trading is great. I mean, if you are the kind of person who is used to that and you know what you're doing, that's a great trade for the euro. Even a short, you know, if you want to try to take this short, I think it's a little more risky, and it's a little late to enter, to be honest. So I wouldn't take it now. It's within my rules. It's above 1-to-1. I prefer, you know, trades above 2-to-1 to even enter, but it depends on the scenario. If it's a very like solid trade, I will trade a 1-to-1 or a 1.2-to-1 or something. But that's a good trade right there as well. So we're going to go ahead and flip over to the private live lab. Thank you all for watching. Link in the description to a free algo. Like and subscribe as well. The free algo is pretty cool. It's a very simple algo. You see me build it. It's a very quick video. And you actually see me turn it into code using Grok AI. And then I show you the tools that traders use to turn it into basically the beginnings of an agentic trading bot, right? So if you want to learn the heart and soul, the engine of an agentic trading bot, then go ahead and get that video, take a look at it, because that's what they all start with. You know, if you think you're just going to go on AI and say, hey, give me a winning, you know, trade using these indicators, like good luck with that. You know, that's a lot of people are trying that now and they're not being very successful. If going on AI, it was going to like get you rich by giving you a magic trading methodology and magic trading algo, then people would just be doing that, and they're not. And the few who are already have the basis for trading. I guarantee you that. I don't think you're going to see too many people who haven't traded before or don't know much about trading, or even if they haven't built algos, like even if they're just price action traders, I bet you a ton of them are just like, they're like, hey, I'm going to go on AI and, give me a winning trade using MACD and, whatever. And they're not there. They ain't winning. I guarantee you need to know more about it. And you can come learn about it. AlgoFactory.tech. Link in the description. It'll lead you how to find us. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. EST sharp. And don't forget.
Join us or die.
Just kidding. You're not going to die. We love you.